Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin Muhammadin sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Where are we now in Islamic calendar? 24th, yeah, 24th of the month of Muharram, yeah. That means, subhanallah, time passed so fast, isn't it true? Right? And this is the complaint that you always have, brothers, that there's no time at all. Is it actually true? There's no time at all, or is it that we don't make enough time? I mean, in the sense that if you think, for example, that this halakha is so important, you will make time, isn't it true? Right? In the sense that if you think that this circle is very important, no matter how busy you are, you will make time. And this is more important than the topic for today, which is time management. Yeah. Akram, how's your time management? Is it affected by cultural influence? Is time management affected by cultural influence? Yemen, are they very slow? Are they on time usually? Or they're just no? Let me be honest. I'm from Singapore, right? Very fast paced. But Malaysians are very relaxed. The Indonesians are a bit worse, you know. And this is how it is. That's why I say sometimes time management is affected by your culture. Yeah, that you're just slow. You don't know what is to rush against time. And this is very important that we try to manage our time properly, because, brothers, right? We only live once. Yeah. But Usama, when it comes to the dunya, right? Everybody would focus, would come, isn't it true? Right? So, for example, when your parents, or when you want to educate your children in the future, in general, right? A lot of people would spend so much time make sure that children are having all the tutorials on science, on mathematics, on English and everything. Yeah, they spend so much time. But once come to the matter of akhirah, yeah, the lessons that we had, or we should have, right? A lot of people are not given, or not giving enough attention and time. Yeah. So some children are given even lessons for swimming, for sports, for taekwondo, for what's that? Just now you were discussing it the group, sujitsu, is it? Yes, right. And then when you realize that you haven't even memorized important verses of the Quran, yeah. On employment, people are willing to work 2 jobs, 3 jobs, right? You know, in order to meet their ends meet. Yeah, but you're not willing to sacrifice yourself for the akhirah. Yeah. On social media, it's even worse. Agreed. Nowadays, people spend hours. I have raised my hand. Sometimes, including myself, not to do. Sometimes, honestly, for me, in order to create a content of my talk, it's quite good to know. Given an excuse, of course, it's quite good to know what people are talking about, isn't it true? In terms of hijab, in terms of many things that you only know through the content that you, or things that you come across in the social media. I was quite, for example, in Dubai. Have you seen the programs in Dubai? How much they are so much into the dunya, how much they don't really care about the akhirah, and this is quite alarming. There is always what's the name of the street? The Palms. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And everything is on ostentatious. Okay, you're learning English, right? What is ostentatious? You know, is it ostentatious? is ostentatious? To show off, right? To show off your wealth, the cars, and and this is what I see when sometimes now the social media is always this feeder, isn't it? When you click on something like Dubai, everything but Dubai come out, right? And you can see the lifestyle of Subhanallah. It is quite alarming in the Muslim countries such as that. Yeah. People are now watching, of course, spend so much time watching football. The Premiership is starting soon, this weekend. The English Premier League, is it true, Mohammed? Yeah, they're starting this weekend. Yeah, people are starting to focus on football and going to the games and all this. So these are the things in which people are planning far ahead, right? That means, okay, next week I want to watch Arsenal against Manchester. But comes with a deen. Not many of us are planning things what we're to do, isn't it true? Alhamdulillah, Brother Yunus, may Allah make it easy for you. You want to go to Madinah College and all this. This is good. And then you want to plan for the deen. Yeah? And always remember, because on the day of judgment, many people may complain to Allah, I have no time. But is it actually true? If you know it's important, you will make time, is it true? For the akhirah. Yeah, remember in Surah number 2, the last verse, and Surah number 2 is number 85, in the last part of the verse, Allah said, وَمَا اللَّهُ بِغَافِلٍ عَمَّا تَعْمَلُونَ. Yeah, which means, and this is double negative. Allah is not unaware of what you do. Yeah, that means Allah knows exactly what we are doing in terms of the deen. Yeah. So why are people negligent about time? Muhammad, what do you think? Many things. Perhaps they don't realize that tomorrow they might die. Yeah. They don't realize that even though, how old are you now? Sorry. 17. Yeah. We have lessons on the 2nd of September. We are going to the cemetery to talk about death and how to do ghusl, right? How to bury the dead, right? And hopefully, inshallah, there will be a open grave. You can go there and sit down and talk about your life in 6 feet under the ground, and this is what we're going to do, inshallah. Yeah. So perhaps I think for me the main reason that people are negligent of time is lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge about what? Purpose of life, yeah, about Tawheed, about Aqidah, yeah, the Quran and the warnings in the Quran, yeah. When you recite Wal Asr, right? Allah warned us very clearly. All of us are reading it all the time. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Wal Asri innal insana lafi khusr. By time, man is at a loss. Very easy to understand, but people are not paying attention. Everybody is at a loss unless you do these 4 things. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمَلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. Only when you do this, it's not up to you to choose, right? You must do all these 4 things. What are the 4 things? You believe. Remember, Iman is not just belief. Belief is certainty about what? But all the articles of faith. What are the 6 articles of faith? Believe in Allah, books of Allah, angels of Allah, the prophets of Allah, Akhirah, the day of judgment, and Qadar. And this belief is certainty. Surely, yeah, when Allah says in the Quran, in Surah number 4, verse number 87, Allahu la ilaha illahu la yajma'annakum illa yawmil qiyamati la rayba fi. Allah, none has the right to be worshipped but Him. Surely He will gather you together on a day in which, the day of resurrection, in which there is no doubt about it. 487. When you know there is no doubt about it, surely all of us must understand that we will meet Allah. Now, what are you going to make? What reasons are you going to give Allah that perhaps you have not done enough? Are you saying that you have done enough? Are you giving enough time? Yes. Yes. So that means something that we're not careful in our time, most of us. They just pass us like that. Yeah. Um, so this is something in which all of us must ask ourselves: are we ready to face Allah? Yeah. So this is the first thing: lack of knowledge. Yeah. I can guarantee you, most of the times when you ask them about Tawheed, how do people actually understand Tawheed? Akram? Not many, right? Whereas you and I understood that the Quran was revealed for how many years? 23 years. How many years was in Mecca? 13 years. And that 13 years, most of it was revealed about Tawheed. That means it actually requires some time for our heart to be immersed with the knowledge of Tawheed and Greed. Because the Sahaba, subhanAllah, most of them, they were poets. They know pure poetry. Arabic was very good, right? But they still, Allah knew that they need to develop Tawheed in their heart. Yes, Akram? Hijab is, yes, of course, most of them. What is the only command of Allah that was revealed in Mecca? And the Salah has intro, Isra Miraj, as journey from Mecca to Medina, Jerusalem is intro, right? So it is the only one, right? So all I'm trying to say, subhanAllah, that the Tawheed must be completely, our knowledge of Tawheed must be there in order for us to know what to do. Yeah? Okay, so this is the first thing. Why people are not or very poor in time management. It is in relation to the lack of knowledge. So, the second thing, Usama, why are people negligent on time management? First of all was lack of knowledge. Secondly, sorry, the dunya itself, right? The dunya, is it attractive to all of us? It is, right? In fact, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said that what he's afraid of all of us is not that we are going to worship any idol. What is he afraid of us? Al-Wahan. Is it true? Love of the dunya and fear of death. Yeah, and this is what he's afraid of us. Is he wrong now, 2023? Completely, right? Saudi Arabia, are you guys facing the dunya? How's Saudi Arabia? Yeah, you live in Saudi Arabia, isn't it? Sorry? I know, but this is where what is Saudi Arabia building now? That thing across the desert, isn't it true? Sorry? Yeah, what is it? Yes. Neon lights, yes, neon lights. Yes, the one inside, there's everything is intro. Do you think it's justified for them to do this? Because you have to remember, right? And we need to ask these questions. Yeah, don't worry, we are not in Saudi Arabia. We're in England, right? We're going to go there next. I hope this is not being monitored. Seriously, Yemen, how many million people are starving? Malnourished. Millions of children are malnourished. Yeah? Syria, many people are very poor, right? They were just hit by the earthquake, wasn't it true? Just about in February. Huge earthquake. Many people were displaced. In Iraq, they got no food, some of them, right? So in Libya, people are living just like that. And many countries are starving. And yet, they're building all these things. How do you know about the three things, Akram? Yeah. That is what they're doing, the three main things. That is why, alhamdulillah, it's easy for us to enter Saudi Arabia now without any visa for British, right? It's just you gotta have a fee waiver. I just paid about 41 US. That's it. Got the visa within 1 minute in order to attract people. But subhanAllah, how much money is spent on football clubs? They just bought Newcastle, literally.
Yeah, and now they spend a lot of money to bring Cristiano, all of us. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, now they
yeah, you're right. One player spent millions of pounds. How do you justify that to Allah and your judgment?
ask people to pay for Umrah.
I was about to say that, right? Never ever in my life would I imagine in the UK, all of us will have to pay at least £10,000. And then it was without agent, right? The agent has been removed. And you thought that it's going to make it easy for us to cheaper to come Umrah, but it's much more expensive now, more than double. And do you think Allah will keep that to account on their judgment? Surely, with all revenue, which is a lot. Yeah. So this is the thing that we do need to understand about the dunya. It attracts even the so-called people who are specialized in Arabic language, which is Arabs, right? It doesn't affect just people who doesn't understand Arabic. Why do I say this? Because the Quran has many warnings in the Quran about the dunya as literal. Many verses in the Quran not to be attracted by the dunya, right? So to quote one verse, right? Let's turn to Surah number 57, verse number 20. Osama, read for me in Arabic, please. 57. Al-Hadid. Verse number 20. This is the best verse. It covers everything, about the dunya. I love the last part always. Yeah. Right, which means, and the life of this world is only a deceiving deception. Yeah. Now, the meaning, know that the life of this world is only play and amusement, pomp and mutual boasting among you, and revelry in respect of wealth and children. It is as a likeness of vegetation after rain, thereof the growth is pleasing to the tiller, and afterwards it dries up, and you see it turning yellow, and it becomes straw. But in the hereafter there is a severe torment for the disbelievers, the evildoers, and there is forgiveness from Allah and His good pleasure for the believers and good doers, and the life of this world is only a deceiving enjoyment. Yeah. So this is it, that we do need to protect ourselves from the dunya. Yeah. Now, the next one, what are the things that why people are negligent about time management? Shaitan. Also similar culprits that affect our time management. Yeah, Shaitan is always jealous when we want to seek knowledge. There's always a reason, right? Actually, when you come here, we discussed many times, what are the advantages when you come here? Coming from your door at home to come here, what are the things that can happen? Yes. What are the things that will benefit you?
Every step you take to get
yes, that in another narration that there is an increase of your status. Yeah. Other things? Yes, because angels is surrounding us, inshallah. Other things? Even the fish in the sea, what do they do? They give God to Allah for those who are seeking the path of knowledge. In another hadith, Prophet Muhammad said that those who seek the path of knowledge, Allah will make it easy for the path in the hereafter. Many things, right? But Shaitan is always telling us, oh, it's okay, we just miss once, I'll come next week, right? Or there's always these excuses, right? I want to go to Manchester, right? So who's in Manchester? Birmingham. Last week. Yeah, right. There's always things, right, that comes up that Shaitan is always saying, "Oh, it's okay, don't worry," right? And this is something we do need to fight, yeah, because the benefits of coming to the mosque for knowledge is amazing, yeah. What other things? Why people are negligent? Akram? Your own nerves, yeah, are always causing you to be, what do you call it, disregarding, yeah, Allah's warnings, yeah. Yes, your friends, your companions, yeah, very important. This is tomorrow's topic actually. Right. What is tomorrow's topic? Al-Bara. It's a very, Gauli may find it quite difficult, but I'm not going to mince my words tomorrow, right? And the replies might be quite difficult in terms of your family members who are not Muslims and all this, but this is what you just need to know about what Allah said, yeah, in the Quran. Examples are given very clearly about Iblis and about disobedience to Allah. When Allah said, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, must we follow what Allah said? Is it a must? Yes, it's a must, right? But people are ignoring it. You can see on social media people are mixing around, celebrating Christmas with the non-Muslims, wearing the Santa hat. Isn't it true? Saudi Arabia, you guys are having all these Halloween parties. Isn't it true? There's a long queue. It's quite amazing, right? Sorry, what is your name? Muhammad. It's quite amazing that now in UK we are trying to remind each other, stay away from there, stay away from going to these malls, to these shops to buy the costumes, right? Whereas Saudi Arabia, they're having this long queue. People are buying the costumes for the Halloween.
They just start full of
The West.
okay, yeah. Just
The West, yes.
think about it. If you ask them why they celebrate Christmas, I don't know. Just for fun, just
Yeah.
they just follow that.
Yeah.
Or nothing.
And they don't understand when you wish somebody Merry Christmas. What does it mean? What does it imply? You know? No, that you're implying something, right? You accept that the so-called birthday of Isa alayhi salam falls on the day of 25th of December. And this is huge, right? And this is something in which it may make people fall into kufur if you're not careful about this. Yeah. So other things, for example, forgive me for saying this, right? I always blame the parents, right? Why do I blame the parents? Being negligent of time. Why do I blame the parents? For not instilling proper time management when you were young. Surely in terms of your salah, right? Oh, it's okay, salah, I can just pray later. If you have been instilled, disciplined by your parents, I can't imagine how much sleep I get from my father if I didn't pray or wake up on time. I would literally, my heart would be, when I would have heard his name, subhanAllah, when I was small, at 5 o'clock waking up, my heart would be pounding in fear. Of course, when a child is scared of your father, but this is how you should be to your children, right? that they should be fearful of Allah first, of course, right? But if you as a future parents, inshallah, you should be able to instill discipline your children. Yeah. So I believe that one of the reasons that why people are negligent because you have not been brought up in that way to be disciplined with your time. Yeah. And of course, the next one you can say is about the wrong priority in life. People are just prioritizing things in the wrong way. Yeah. That so for example, right, you know, in your work, I'm sure you can arrange such that you can make yourself free in terms of your rotations, yeah, to perhaps attend lessons and do this. It is up to you, isn't it true? Right? So if you think that the lessons that you come are so important, you will do this. But most people are not doing it. Right? So this is important that why we, all of us, must recognize the reasons why our time management might be quite poor. Yeah? Brothers, you and I know on the day of judgment, right? We will be dipped for a short period of time, either in hellfire or in paradise. Is it true? There's a hadith, right? Inshallah, yeah, all of us will be tested a lot, right? Don't be sad if Allah tests us a lot, because when Allah tests us a lot, what does it mean? Allah loves us. Yeah, that Allah wants to purify us. All of us can never escape from not committing sins. We will commit sins some way or another. Yeah. With that, of course, comes expiations. You need to remove the sins. Yeah. So, inshallah, when we are tested by Allah and we suffered quite a lot in this life, yeah, because most of you here are below, except the brother, of course, most of you here are below 25. Great by 24, so you're still below 25, right? So you do not, perhaps we have not been tested enough. Yeah. So when we are tested a lot, right, and Allah will know that we had suffered so much in this life, and inshallah He will grant us Jannah. But before we enter Jannah, we are made to dip for a fraction of a second in. No, we're getting it correct. To hellfire, isn't it true? Right? Sorry, in paradise, yes, in paradise, right? In order for us to be asked the question, how was your life in this world? What do we say? We cannot remember. Because that fraction of a second in paradise is so beautiful, it made us forget about our sufferings in this world. Whereas on another hand, a person who is living an amazing life in Saudi Arabia, in Dubai, with all the beautiful girls, as I did see, I don't know why it came up in my social media, right? 10 most popular men in the world, and most of them Muslims, no? With all the girls at the side, and subhanAllah, right? And they enjoy themselves, and they forgot about accountability to Allah in the hereafter. Yeah? And all these people, right? Again, I'm not judging whether they're going to hellfire or not, but if they were to be in hellfire, they would be dipped for a fraction of a second into Jahannam, right? And they would be asked, yeah, how was your life in this world? They couldn't remember. And this is how the hadith is authentic. It is from Muslims, authentic, inshallah. So how all of us must try and make sure that we are actually ready and prepared to face Allah in the hereafter. Right? Bilal, why are you sitting behind? When you sit here? Join us there, please. I see you. How are you doing? Alhamdulillah. Yeah. Now, from Anas ibn Malik reported that Prophet Muhammad said, 3 things follow a deceased person. 2 of them will return and 1 will remain. Who will return? 3 things will follow when we die, right? What are the 3 things first? Our wealth, our family, and of the deeds, right? So the wealth and the family will return, right? And then the deeds will remain, right? In fact, have you recited Al-Kahf? Finished? Al-Kahf? Finished? So what's the name, brother? You're Yunus, yes. This Yunus. I thought you're Yunus, sorry. You're Muhammad Yunus. Okay. Alka finished? Muhammad? No? Alhamdulillah. Finished Alka? Time management, is it true? Finished? Muhammad? Yes. Yeah? So, Bilal finished Alka? Well, you only got about a little bit more than 1 hour to finish, right? Don't lose this opportunity when Allah, through Prophet Muhammad give us this hadith, right, about the rewards of doing this. It's always for our own good, isn't it true? So don't lose this opportunity and say that, oh, it's not important, right? Try to do it as best as you can, inshallah. Yeah. So that hadith was from Bukhari Muslim, yeah. And all of us, what is the last part of Al-Kahf? فَمَنْ كَانَ يرجو لقاء ربه فليعمل عملا صالحا ولا يشرك بعبادة ربه أحدا. Yeah, what does it mean? Whoever hopes for the meeting with his Rabb, let them, first of all, do good righteous deeds, and secondly, associate none as worship with Allah. So two things. Is it easy? It sounds easy, right? But how many people saw it on the tube, Akram? Somebody was wearing these, no, the chain with the eye, Yeah, I was so shocked. I was like, oh my God, I saw her wearing this. It's obviously being what I call it misguided. Yeah, it seems easy, but it's not easy. In which all of us must surely understand that there's not much time for us. And the worst thing that if we were to commit shirk, what happened? Finished. Now I did bring up a verse in your group, right? I'm sure I did bring on it here and in inshaAllah at least a few times about a verse in the Quran that describes perfectly about this. Once you do an act of shirk, everything is disappeared. But it's not as clear as this. Allah gave us, so some verses in the Quran you need to think. But once you know, subhanAllah, it's beautiful. What verse is this? It is Surah Al-Baqarah. Which verse? Two 6 Okay. Take out the Quran. Al-Baqarah, Surah number 266. On the surface, when you recite this, you may not understand. Yeah, but this is actually was referring to this. Yeah, when you have all the fruits, all the vegetations, all the wealth, and then you acquired this when you were young, and when they got old, it somehow got destroyed. Yeah, and this is what Allah was meaning by this. Yeah, by a person who did all the good deeds, but on the basis of an act of shirk, everything disappeared. Akram, may you read for me, please?
Will one of you
No, in Arabic.
يود أحدكم أن تكون له جنة من نخيل وأعناب تجري من تحتها الأنهار له فيها من كل الثمرات وأصابه الكبر وله ذرية ضعفاء فأصابها إعصار فيه نار
كذلك يبين الله آياته لعلكم تتقون.
Now, when it applies to me sometimes, right? When Allah said the last part, right? What do you call it? كذلك يبين الله لكم الآيات لعلكم تتفكرون, right? That this Allah makes it clear, clear that to you so that you may give thought. It's frustrating sometimes that I don't understand sometimes. You know what I mean? I'm sure you came across in verses of the Quran when you want to ponder over it, actually you don't understand. But then when you ponder over it again, inshallah, Allah will make you understand, right? So listen to this, right? Would any one of you wish to have a garden with date palms and vines, with rivers flowing underneath, and all kinds of fruit for him therein, while he is stricken with old age? So the first one, right? When we have all this, it refers to our good deeds. When we have our good deeds, we have all these amazing blessings from Allah, yeah, fruits and all this, yeah. And then the second part, and when you are stricken with old age, and his children are weak, and he's not able to look after themselves, then it is struck with a fiery whirlwind. That is, the whole plantations that you have is destroyed, so that it is burned. Thus Allah makes it clear His ayat to you that you may give thought. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Because when you get older, like me and the Sheikh here, when we get older, things are very different. Even standing up from the sujood is a bit tricky, right? How on earth are we able to build up the deeds that we gathered when we were young, right? Tahajjud, Umrah, Hajj, how many times and all this. We did all the Salah. Then everything, once you do an act of shirk, what happened? It's finished. It's gone. How on earth, at my age, at the Sheikh's age, then are we able to build up the thing from scratch? Isn't it true? It's very difficult. Yeah. So when Allah gave us this parable, right, it's quite a deep one, but it actually shows about a person who, when young, were able to do all the good deeds, but on the basis of shirk, everything is disappeared. Yeah? And this is how we make sure that Allah will always protect us from committing shirk. Yeah. Now, so how? The most important thing that we all of us must understand is that we cannot bring back time. Agree? Especially when the angel of death is coming, you and I cannot ask for a delay. Only one person was able to squeeze the eyes out. Who's that? Musa alayhi salam, right? The eyes came out and all this, and the angel of death complained to Allah. And then what was the solution given by Allah? He put his hand there, whatever head that touches their hand, maybe the number of years is going to leave. Yes, this is from the miracle of Allah, of course. We're very exceptional, but most of us, right, what did Allah say? وَلَنْ يُؤَخِّرَ اللَّهُ نَفْسًا إِذَا جَاءَ أَجَلُهَا وَاللَّهُ خَبِيرٌ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ. Which surah? 63, verse number 11. That Allah does not give anyone respite when the appointed time comes, and Allah is well aware of what to do. Yeah. So you cannot run away from death. Okay, turn to Surah number 62, verse number 8. 62, verse number 8. قُلْ إِنَّ الْمَوْتَ الَّذِي تَفِرُّونَ مِنْهُ فَإِنَّهُ مُلَاقِيكُمْ ثُمَّ تُرَدُّونَ إِلَى عَالِمِ الْغَيْبِ وَالشَّهَادَةِ فَيُنَبِّئُكُمْ بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. Yeah? Verily the death which you flee will surely meet you. Then you will be sent back to Allah, and the all-knower, the unseen and the seen, and He will tell you what that which we used to do. Yeah. So now that we need to understand now. First of all, what's the first thing? Understand what is the purpose of life. Understand, right? If you Google what is the purpose of life, people will come up with many 5 things, right? I want to go for ski jumping. I want to eat as many chocolates as possible. I want to do all those things that come out. Yeah, and this is subhanallah. Allah has informed us in the Quran. Purpose of it is very clear. Yeah, it is to worship Allah. Yeah, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Yeah, 51, 56. Yeah, يَا أَيُّهَا النَّاسُ اعْبُدُوا رَبَّكُمُ الَّذِي خَلَقَكُمْ وَالَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ mankind. Worship your Lord who has created you and those who were before you so that you may achieve al-muttaqun. Right? So in the sense that if you worship Allah, what is the achievement? No, in the verse before Jannah, taqwa, is it true? If you so-called worship Allah and you don't achieve God consciousness, that means something must be wrong with your acts of worship, isn't it true? Right? In Saudi Arabia, when people are going to the Hajj every year and go to Umrah almost every month, and somehow or other, right, they are drinking alcohol and they are all this womanizing and doing zina, something must be wrong with the worship, acts of worship, isn't it true? Because Allah promised to worship Allah is taqwa. Yeah, but if we still not achieving taqwa, something must be wrong with your acts of worship. Yeah, perhaps the intention is not there. Okay, remember, just as a revision, acts of worship is only accepted to Allah upon fulfilling 3 conditions. The first one is you must be Muslim or not committing shirk. Second one, intention to please Allah. Thirdly, dalil. Yeah, must have the evidence from Quran and authentic hadith. And in order to ask Allah to accept it, what must we do? Make dua. What is dua now? If you do not know this, that means I'm not being paying attention in class, isn't it true? What dua? No, it's not.
It's the one where Ibrahim alayhi salam thanked Allah once he made the Kaaba.
Yes. What's that? It's no point telling me that you're not doing the thing, isn't it true? Yes. Innaka anta samiul alim. Which surah is this, Bilal? No, doesn't mean Ibrahim in Surah Ibrahim, is it true? Al-Baqarah, verse number 127, when he was building the Kaaba. Rabbana taqabbal minna innaka anta samiul alim. It's not mandatory, but of course, subhanAllah, you do need to ask Allah to accept your deeds, isn't it true? Another dua that we can do. Usama. No. Muhammad. Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafi'an wa rizqan tayyiban wa amalan mutaqabbalan. Right? That means you're asking Allah to do 3 things, right? Firstly, ilman nafi'an, beneficial knowledge. It's not UK, isn't it true? UK is unbeneficial knowledge, right? It's not UK, right? Must have beneficial knowledge. Right? Somebody was asking me about how many bricks do you think are in the Kaaba? Right? So I said, I do not know. I don't really care. Right? It is very unbeneficial knowledge. Somebody was asking me, sorry, about aliens or about no, about dinosaurs or about. You just interrupted. I was just heading there. Or what was the system of tax before Islam? Like I really do not know, honestly. I'm not a walking dictionary, right? As always, is unbeneficial knowledge which you must avoid. Yeah. So knowledge must be beneficial. Secondly, risk on. Oh, not just about risk, but it must be halal, right? So you need to ask yourself, have you cheated and lied in your work? No? Yes, right? So it's very important, isn't it? Because it's not just about the money that you get, it must be halal, right? There are a lot of people who are lying and cheating in their work. A lot. Saudi Arabia? Sorry? AGM?
Egypt.
Oh, Egypt. Egypt, your favorite country, right? What happened to you in Egypt now, the first day, before we came?
Before we went to Umrah, we went to Egypt. And then I thought I'd go there day before Shem so I could go to naughtiness. Then I thought I'd go there day early just to see how it is. And every time I went to a masjid, someone would come to me and say they're the imam and then ask for sadaqah. Straight away, you give sadaqah. And then they start doing the dua for me.
Yeah.
And they're like sadaqah. Or they'll take my shoes and they're like sadaqah. So every single one, even the biggest mosques we show, all of them.
Yeah, it's quite tiring, isn't it? Quite tiring. Yeah. So your race must be that there is one Osama that's quite famous, right? If you go around the Tower of Kaaba, there will be 3 Indonesians who will approach you, right? Come, let me help you to kiss the black stone. They did help me. Alhamdulillah. I did kiss a black stone and they asked for $100 US. $100 US. Is it halal or haram?
How do they help you?
They push everybody. So I got a kiss. I was quite shocked. People got thrown away. So, and subhanAllah, and I didn't pay. Then I saw them doing other things, and they were quite angry with me because I warned them. I warned this. They go, don't get into this trap, and they call me shaitan. So I don't know what. And anyway, that happens right in front of the Kaaba for you. Yeah, this is Indonesians, all these crooks. Okay, so this is the first thing, right? Make sure you know what is the purpose of life. Second one, you need to understand what is your obligations in this life. What are obligations that we must do? Salah, zakat, Ramadan fasting, your Hajj. Yeah. Other than that, yes. Yeah. But also seeking knowledge. It is an obligation. Yeah. Reading the Quran. Yeah. So you must understand what is your obligations. This is the second thing that you must do. If you do not know what is this, then something must be wrong, or something will be wrong with your time management. Yeah. Number 3, identify the things that are not obligatory, but it is important. Yeah, in your life. Yeah. What is this? Spending time with your families. Yeah. Of course, your work and your studies. Yeah. Your household duties, brothers. Doesn't mean that you're a man, you will not do the household work. Arabs don't care, is it true? Right? Pakistanis, correct? Not you, but in general, right? They always think that man is the boss, isn't it true? And this is quite wrong. We know the example of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Did he have to clean the house? Yes, you sweep the house. Now we use, I think it's now is my vacuum the house and all this. So, and we don't need to contribute to the household work, right? Washing the dishes, for example, right? Because, and this is how it is, yeah. Resting and sleeping is important, yeah. So all these kind of things is important, not obligatory, but it is important. So identify this obligatory, what is important. Next one, identify things that are less important. What is this? Sleeping too much. Is it important?
Social media.
Social. I beg to differ sometimes. We'll discuss next time social media, right? Because social media is the only thing I can communicate with my families in back home. Sometimes.
I mean, there's some of that being a waste of time.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, I follow that trap too sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. Sitting at home doing nothing, right? With the games. Carol, sorry. Ayub, right? Do you play games? No, do you play games?
I used to a lot.
Yeah.
Now I wish I had time to play.
You should have time to play. The only games I used to play in those early, because about my age, is what? Super Mario.
The board games, that's
What is Super Mario? Sorry? Yeah, the carrot. It was this. And the only one I did, I admit, but I didn't fall into the trap of wasting time is what is a game that you dress up people, you dress up, you build a house and all this. Yeah, right? You, and it's about it. Yeah? As a mosque. You make sure you play the mosque. Can you build a mosque? Seems. Yeah? Let's do that. And okay. Now, yeah, so this is less important. Next thing, number 5, what we need to do then, prioritize your daily activities. What must come first? Obligation must come first, right? No matter how important you are in other things, the salah must come first, isn't it true? Right? No matter how amazing you are in other things, make sure you have time to go to Hajj, most important thing, right? It doesn't make sense, I know of a family, right? I know you have a lot of money, but did they go to Hajj? What happened? Allah made the husband had a very severe heart attack and he used all the savings to pay. Because in Singapore, right, it's not, we don't have all this NHS free, we need to pay. On one hand, finished, right? And this is how it is when you don't prioritize the obligatory deeds. Right? You'll be questioned by Allah and you will be made so busy or so difficult that you cannot go to Hajj anymore. Yeah? So do be careful, right? Have you been to Hajj, Osama? I'm not young, I was 16. Alhamdulillah, right? Inshallah, we'll invite all of us. Yeah. Then the second one, then other activities will be surrounding the obligatory deeds, right? So that means we talked about the seeking knowledge very important, isn't it? Reading the Quran. Everything else must surround these things. Yeah. Number 3, don't compromise Islam, right? And number 4, yeah, the obligatory deeds must come first, and then the important deeds, then the less important activities. And this is how we should plan our time. If you fail to recognize the obligatory deeds, then you need to seek more knowledge. Yeah. So this is very important that we plan our time in that manner, right? Number 6, have future plans that are important to work towards that goal, right? Is marriage important? Yusuf, is marriage important? Yeah, so plan to have that wedding in which you can fulfill half of your deen. You need to plan. Brothers, your wife will not come down from the sky. You will need to search for it. Somebody, alhamdulillah, found through another gathering on the future wife. Nobody knows you, I just mentioned you. I didn't even mention your name, don't worry. But they know it, heard your voice already. It's you. Have you planned for your marriage? Sorry? It will come, inshallah, right? Especially if you don't, then what must you do? Fast. Now, are you fasting Mondays and Thursdays? You should, right? Because, especially for those who are not married, yeah? It's one of the sunnah, yes. What do you mean? Affect yourself, of course. But when I know that you're fasting, I know that you're trying to control your stuff. Yeah. Okay. Now, is there anything wrong to aim in Islam to aim towards a better education? You should aim, isn't it true? You shouldn't just work like that. You should aim to have better education, inshallah. That's very important, right? Don't settle for second best. Islam is not like Catholic religion in which there's these monks and there's these people in all these what's the name? Yeah, nuns. We have the same uniforms and all this. Were you Catholic last time? Right, because Poland is very strong Catholic, isn't it true? Right, you have so much things there. I went there to Krakow before. I tell you, right? In Krakow, there's so many things. There's quite a strong belief there in Poland at this, even until today, right? So the next one, right? Okay, this is very important, brothers. All of us must identify our weakness. Beloved, have you identified your weaknesses? Yeah, you do it, is it true? Your weakness perhaps I've not read. I should have read more Quran, for example. I mean, I didn't have an example, right? Weaknesses including, social media, right? That you never lower your gaze, right? Right? So all these weaknesses you must identify. Everybody's different, right? Nobody's perfect. And when you identify the weaknesses, right? So for example, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but in Indonesia and Malaysia, it's not, and subhanAllah, it's not uncommon to have boyfriends and girlfriends. It's not uncommon, right? So people would chat on the phones for hours and hours and completely useless and wasting your time. Yeah. With the sisters, of course, spending so much time in Vista Village. What's Vista Village? Yeah. Okay. A place in near Oxford that they have all the designer goods and all these, right? Sorry?
Like Selfridges.
No, yeah, no, Oxford, sorry, Oxford, the city, right? A lot of Arabs go there because alhamdulillah, they have a nice prayer room. They call it a contemplation room, right? So you can pray there and yeah. So, but usually people waste at least 4 or 5 hours there to shop. Some people will go in the bags, the travel bag, in big bags, and it's an outlet, yes, yeah. So these are the things that you must identify your weakness. How can we have a weakness? Have you identified it? Okay, alhamdulillah. Weakness? Muhammad, weakness? You have weaknesses. Yeah, have you identified weaknesses? All of us must do that because only we know what is our weakness. Yeah? Number 8, we must recognize shaitan. Shaitan is our #1 enemy. The shaitan will never stop from distracting us and causing us to be negligent of our time. Agreed? Right? And therefore, all of us must seek protection from shaitan. By doing what? Sorry, brothers? How to seek protection from shaitan? Says that. Yeah, okay, yes. Yes. Yeah. So we have been told that all of us must protect ourselves from shaitan, right? And busy ourselves with dhikr al-dhikr of Allah, yeah. That will hopefully, inshaAllah, right, get rid of shaitan, right? We understand shaitan has 7 traps. What are 7 traps of shaitan again? Akram? First one, shirk, right? Next one? Bid'ah, innovations. Major sins. Sure is the first one, yes. Minor sins, number 5. Doing less than 2 deeds, but you are focusing on the less important deeds. Yeah. Number 6, wasting time, right? And last one, all-out attack. They will always attack you at any time. Yeah. So we must recognize this, brothers, right? It is only you, right, through your acts of worship and through a relationship with Allah that you will get protected from shaitan. Number 9, right? Make dua to Allah. Yeah. What dua do you make to Allah in order for you to be in a state of taqwa or to not to waste time and all this? Yes. Allahumma inna as'aluka al-huda wal afaf wal ghina. Have you memorized this? Now, right? Very easy. Allahumma inna as'aluka al-huda, asking Allah for guidance. Wat tuqa means taqwa. Wal afafa, chastity. Right? Wal ghina means free from the needs of others. Yeah, this is important. Yeah. So many dua that we can make. What are the things that we can make? Ya muqallibal qulub, tsabbit qalbi ala dinik. Followed by Rabbana la tuzigh qulubana ba'da idh hadaytana wa hab lana min ladunka rahmah innaka antal wahhab. Okay. So we can make all this dua inshallah. In surah number 23, verse number 97 and 98. 23, 97, 98. Rabbi a'udhu bika min hamazati shayatin wa a'udhu bika rabbi an yahdurun. Yeah. Asking our Lord, yeah, my Lord, I seek refuge with you from the whisperings of the shaitan, and I seek refuge with you, my Lord, lest they come near me. Okay. Would we be wasting time? What do you think, Yunus? If Allah loves us, would Allah guide us to do more good deeds? Yes, of course. Yeah. So how do we gain Allah's love? So, for example, when doing more sunnah deeds, especially your night prayer. What time is Fajr now? Almost 4, right? 4.
Yeah.
Right? So what time should you wake up for tahajjud, inshallah? 3:40. How is the tahajjud? 20 minutes, alhamdulillah. Yeah, alhamdulillah, this is better than nothing, right? But try to do what is ideal taraka'ah for tahajjud? Ideal raka'ah for tahajjud. How many raka'ah? 8. Right? Try to do 8 if you can. So 2, 2, 2, 2. What is the etiquette of tahajjud again? 2 sunnah before the tahajjud. To perhaps start the ball rolling and to thank Allah for waking you up and all this. Then do your 8 raka'ah, inshallah. And then 3 witr, inshallah. If you can, do your qunut dua. If you can't, it's okay. It doesn't invalid your qunut dua. If you do not do it, it doesn't invalid your witr. And end with, how do you end your tahajjud, your witr? Subhanal Malik al-Quddus. Subhanal Malik al-Quddus. And the last one, you make it louder. Subhanal Malik al-Quddus, right? Rabbul Malaikati wa Ruh. This is sunnah. Yeah, so it is a whole package of your tahajjud. So try to do it, inshallah. Yeah. So this is important that you do things to gain Allah's love. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. So these are the things that hopefully today's talk, you and I are able to understand what is time management, brothers. At the end of the day, what did Allah say? وَعْبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْيَقِينُ. Surah number 15, verse number 99, the last verse. Right? Worship your Lord until there comes to you a certainty. What is certain? Death and income tax. Income tax is very certain. You will get. Is it true now? Income tax.
Very brief, 3 points, very important. I want to take your time.
Yes.
First of all, obligation for every Muslim, every lady, whoever they are.
Yes.
It's not just point of praying 5 times, fasting, giving zakat,
Yes.
Hajj, or Umrah.
Yes.
Every expected counts into one, because once Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent one of the angels to destroy one of the township. Okay. The angel came and looked around, he saw the very pious people. The angel went back again to quote Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "Oh my angel, why didn't you carry out my commandment?"